Meet the European Championships. Every 4 years, Europe's leading nations battle it out on the field for that elite trophy. There are always disappointed losers, sorry fans, and even sore heads. But at the end of the day, there is always one unstoppable country. With millions of fans worldwide tuning in to witness the win, no team can hide from the truth. Over time, many have had dreams. Some dreams have come to fruition, and some have fallen flat. And what was once football official Henri Delaunay's dream is now a reality. Established in 1960, the European Championships is the pinnacle of football. By 1980, the final tournament had expanded to 8 teams, making it a major event in the world of football. And every 4 years, it gets bigger, growing to 24 teams by 2016. Millions of fans travel to the European host country in the midst of summer to enjoy everything the nation has to offer. Whether it be Spain, Italy, or even Ukraine and Poland sharing the load as dual hosts in 2012, the competition boosts business and tourism.
It's the restaurant owners, pub owners, managers who are really very, very glad because of Euro 2012. They increased the revenue of at about 300–400% during Euro 2012, and that's absolutely stunning.
But by the time Euro 2016 rolled around, it was back where it all began.
France.
Known for its fine wines, fromage, culture, history and architecture, France would host for a 3rd time.
It's a great occasion for France to show itself. Well, everyone knows France already, and France is already a great tourist destination. But with the Euro, I think it gives to France even something special for the whole country, and in particular French football.
Football brings in the big bucks, and the host country can expect a whopping $1 billion to be spent by fans at the dream event. Coming up, some of Europe's finest nations on the field. The birthplace of Western civilization, with a population of over 740 million people and 54 playing nations, making Europe the birthplace and cradle of football. So when the European Championships hit the calendar, teams get fired up, especially when competing on home soil. France's performances have undoubtedly included some of the highlights in the competition's long history. Les Bleus first won at home in 1984, catapulting them into their golden era of the sport. Their second continental title came in a 2-1 win over Italy in the Netherlands at Euro 2000. Although the Naughties saw the team in a tangled web of disagreements, leaving them in a public display of disarray, come 2016, they were a united French force. And part of that force is the long-legged and spectacular Paul Pogba. Since 2013, Pogba has been showing the fans what he's got with France. As good as his playing style is, it's his swagger and hairstyles that set him apart from the rest. Although Belgium has never won the European Championships, they were runners-up in 1980, a performance followed by making the semi-finals of the 1986 World Cup. Come the modern era, the team looked to Marc Wilmots to guide them. Wilmot's resume speaks for itself. As a player, he is Belgium's top scorer in the World Cup. Later on in life, he became a politician, sitting in the Senate for 2 years. So managing a team, and all the difficult personalities that ensure, is all in a day's work for him. But when the rage comes, the fury usually follows. Spain, the team with guts, grit and spunk, has won at home. This time in 1964. After a string of bad luck, La Furia, the Fury, finally hit the jackpot, winning 3 majors in a row from 2008 to 2012. Just ask Belgium's coach, Marc Wilmots.
Can people just think about what Spain achieved? 3 tournaments in 6 years, that is exceptional. No one had ever done it.
Perhaps the key ingredient to their secret spell is the style known as tiki-taka, where at any given time, 3 players short pass the ball, moving it in a triangular formation while maintaining possession. But the players make the game. In this case, many hailed from Barcelona, which is considered the custodian of tiki-taka, and 7 Barca players were in Spain's 2012 23-man squad, including none other than Cesc Fàbregas. His nation has enjoyed the fabulous ability of Fàbregas since 2006, but particularly in the 2008 and 2012 finals. The midfield maestro returned to his origins, signing with Barcelona in a blockbuster €34 million transfer in 2011. It should come as no surprise that Puma saw the opportunity in the dapper Spaniard, signing him the same year. But he's not the only Spanish heartthrob on the team. Shot stopper and showstopper, Iker Casillas is one of the greats.
I believe that we should be very proud of the sports people that we have. And in football, the name Casillas is going to be in the front row. It's very important for Spanish football that we still have players of this level and have had a fantastic career. I think it gives us strength, and it's an example for the young players.
He's won 3 consecutive titles with Spain, the 2008 and 2012 Euros and the 2010 World Cup. The goalkeeper is a serious catch. Casillas infamously shared a kiss with his reporter girlfriend, now wife, on live television when being interviewed after that World Cup win. While Casillas may be Spain's answer to a god, then Bastian Schweinsteiger could very well be Germany's. Some know him for his never-ending energy and precise delivery of the ball. Others know him for earning over 100 caps with Germany since he started playing in 2004. And then there are those that know him for his relationship with tennis goddess Anna Ivanovic. As another heartbreaker on the field, Schweinsteiger had fans sobbing across the world when Ivanovic was spotted with a sparkler on her hand, which the 2014 World Cup winner gifted to her in 2015. The wins Germany has delivered has been outstanding. There's the European Championships in 1972, 1980 and 1996. And then there's the World Cup in 1954, 1974, 1990 and 2014. So it's fair to say that if any team in the modern era is known for dominating football, it's Germany. As one of the biggest in the feline family, one lion is powerful. Add 2 more into the mix, and you've got yourself a triple threat. Despite having more than enough talent, England has never come through with the goods at a European Championship. The closest the 3 Lions ever came was the semi-finals in 1996, when they hosted the tournament, 30 years after they won the World Cup. At 30, Wayne Rooney was gearing up for his 3rd European Championships at France 2016. In 2015, it was in a Euro qualifying match against Switzerland that Rooney scored a penalty and became his national team's all-time leading goal scorer.
Great moment for me tonight, and such a huge honour to to be the leading goal scorer for England. Highly pressured moment for me before the penalty. I was quite nervous, but thankfully it went in, and I'm such a proud man to it.
Even with 50 goals, he's still a team player.
And we've got a great group of lads. We're all working hard to be successful together, and it was a great moment when I scored. All the lads come up and obviously saying things as we're celebrating and in front of the fans at Wembley.
And while Rooney's been around the block a few times, he better make room for the new kid. Since 2015, Jamie Vardy has been on the big stage with England. The striker is relentless, and the team were expecting big things from him. But so was Hollywood, with Adrian Butchart, made famous for the film Goal, hoping to pen a biopic on the young gun. While working a job on the side, Vardy climbed the ranks before he reached the big time at Leicester City. His is the ultimate rags to riches story. There's been plenty of success over the many decades the European Championship has been on the calendar. But there's also been plenty of letdowns and what-ifs. While the entire Republic of Ireland squad was pumped to be included in the 2016 competition, there was one man who was elated: Superman!
The game's about players. I'm absolutely delighted. I'm thrilled for myself, naturally. Rather selfishly, if that's the case. But I'm thrilled for the players because they have put heart and soul into the games.
After struggling for desired results in 2014, dipping in the rankings to a record low, the team climbed back up that mountain with their manager Martin O'Neill at the front.
There's a great spirit among the players. I know everybody talks about it, but I think that spirit has been so strong at times to have carried us through matches when we maybe might lack the occasional piece of absolute genius. But they've been great, and they deserve to go.
There's no denying that the boys in green deserve to go, with their wags in tow. However, O'Neill had another thought.
I think it depends on how good-looking the girls are. Really, yeah. They're really attractive. They're very, very welcome. The uglier ones, I'm afraid, no.
After the break, the Galacticos bring the goods. They're the most glamorous team in football, cashing checks and breaking hearts. But when it comes time to hit the worldwide stage, all of a sudden, they're pitted against each other. Real Madrid's Galacticos are lauded in La Liga, but it's on the international stage where they shine in the summertime. Unsurprisingly, Spain draws heavily on Real talent. Club captain Sergio Ramos has been a mainstay of the Spanish defense since 2005, including the back-to-back Euro triumphs. In 2012, he was named in the team of the tournament and showed he was more than just a defender in the semi-final with an audacious penalty shootout Panenka. A feared hard man, Ramos has a softer side. During the trophy presentation ceremonies at both tournaments, the defender wore T-shirts in honor of Antonio Puerta, a former Spanish international teammate who died of heart failure in 2007. Portugal's Cristiano Ronaldo is the preeminent European footballer of his generation, and he knows it.
To be honest, since the beginning, when I was a child, when I was a young boy, I always feel special sometimes.
Okay.
Not just for myself, but I saw the people look at me with the different eyes. Because in my opinion, I think I was different than the other ones.
The living legend is the record goal scorer in European Championship history, including qualifying matches. Going into Euro 2016, Ronaldo's lavish museum did not include a winner's medal. Ever the perfectionist, Ronaldo told a journalist in 2012, "I will only be fully content with my career when I have lifted a trophy with Portugal." If unimaginable riches, rooms full of individual accolades, and the company of the world's most beautiful women fails to provide contentment, what hope is there for the rest of us? Helping Ronaldo in his quest for glory is Brazilian-born but Portuguese player Pepe. If Ronaldo is a footballing rock star, Pepe is his bodyguard. One of the most aggressive defenders in history, Pepe has earned an imposing reputation for pushing the laws of the game to their limits and beyond. In 2009, he was banned for 10 Real Madrid matches for a violent outburst against Getafe. After stamping on Lionel Messi in 2012, Spanish newspaper Marca described him as treacherous, violent, and over-aggressive. Despite his disciplinary problems, Pepe was named in the team of the tournament at both Euro 2008 and 2012. Mateo Kovacic is Croatia's emerging star. Likened in his teenage years to the great Robert Prosinecki, the youngster has already earned the nickname The Professor. The only German international on Real's books is Toni Kroos. The elegant midfielder typifies the new wave of German footballer with his precision passing and football intelligence. Kroos played a starring role in Die Mannschaft's 2014 World Cup win. Welshman Gareth Bale was born just 6 months before his German colleague, but their international careers could hardly be more different. Euro 2016 is the first major tournament Wales has qualified for since the 1958 World Cup.
He's used to playing in high-pressured situations. The spotlight's on him every time he takes to the pitch. I think that he actually likes that, and that brings the best out of him.
Wales coach Chris Coleman runs a tight ship, banning all wags from the hotel for their first shot at the Euros for half a century.
Off the pitch, he's quiet, a family man, hugely passionate person about his country.
Sold for 100 million euros, Bale is the most expensive footballer in the world. His blistering pace and close control make him a terrifying opponent to defend against, and his left-footed free kicks can be unstoppable.
If you see him on the pitch, he stands out, he's noisy, not in what he says, it's in his actions. You know, as an attacker, he's incredibly aggressive and he's greedy in terms of, not for himself, but in terms of producing quality, and he's demanding of himself. And his standards, then he sets the level and the bar for everybody else to try to aspire to. He's a great player. You can't use that word great lightly. You know, people say, oh, he's a great player, he's a great player. He is genuinely a great player, and he's one of the best players in the world.
France's Raphael Varane is blossoming into one of the foremost defenders in world football. Now a fixture at the heart of the France backline, in 2014, Varane became his country's youngest ever captain. He is one of 2 French internationals in Los Merengues' squad, but the only one guaranteed further international caps. As Karim Benzema's career with France was put on hold following his involvement in a sordid blackmailing incident involving teammate Mathieu Valbuena. The prolific forward had played over 80 times for his country, but was excluded from the 2016 Euro squad due to the team wanting to remain harmonious. And another man who knows what it's like to come under fire is Michel Platini. As a player, he is hailed one of the greatest of all time. Platini's achievements were plentiful and included 3 consecutive Ballon d'Ors from 1983 to 1985. He captained France to the win at the 1984 Euros, kicking the opener and putting on a superb display. As a manager, he took France underneath his wing in 1988, but decided he was better at handling football from an organizational side and eventually moved to the Union of European Football Associations. But the king finally found his throne as president of UEFA in 2007. So, as the highest goalscorer in European Championship finals history, the Frenchman was the face of the 2016 competition. But his world came crashing down in 2015. The story goes that Platini had received an undocumented 2 million Swiss francs in 2011 for work previously carried out from then FIFA boss Sepp Blatter. The pair were alleged to have a conflict of interest and were both barred from their respective organizations. The duo staunchly denied any wrongdoing and were intent on clearing their names.
I'm not perturbed. There is one thing that revolts me. That's injustice. And I face it and try to battle against that injustice, which affects lots of people who love me. I'm much stronger. I've been in the media now for 40 years. 40 years that the media talks about me.
Platini had originally planned on taking his strength all the way to the role of president of FIFA, succeeding his old colleague.
This gentleman's agreement was made already in '98, just after the World Cup in France, where Mr. Platini approached me, and I approached him because we worked together there, and said he would like to work for FIFA. And I said, it is wonderful if you come to FIFA. He said, but I am a very expensive man. I said, that's okay, but we cannot pay you now.
Yes, effectively, I'm going to withdraw from the FIFA presidency.
The case continued into 2016 as the European Championships approached. Many agreed that the way it was playing out wasn't entirely fair.
I think it's very sad, and I think, particularly when you consider what a wonderful footballer Platini was and how much he's given to the game in general, I mean, it's a real personal tragedy. But he's 60 now, 8 years' time he'll be 68, so basically I think it's also really the end of the line for Michel Platini as well.
I don't care if I'm politically finished in football. I'm 60 years old. I've done a lot of things. Whether I am or not, that doesn't interest me. I want to fight injustice. Not being at FIFA or at UEFA, frankly, it's okay.
So in the words of Michel Platini, bye-bye FIFA, bye-bye FIFA presidency. Still to come, we take a trip down memory lane. Most sporting tournaments are known for their drama and upsets. But what about the ones that just made it through? The unexpected wins. In this case, no tournament can match the Euros. Denmark's '92 win is a fairy tale from the pages of Hans Christian Andersen. Just a week before the tournament, the Danish squad was on holiday. However, Yugoslavia's escalating civil war led to their last-minute expulsion, and the Danes were belatedly invited to Sweden. They had to beat France to progress beyond the group stage, which they did, after a quick round of team-bonding crazy golf. They had to beat the Netherlands to reach the final, which they did, after a quick stop for takeaway hamburgers. With nothing to lose in the final, Denmark did the unthinkable, beating the Germans 2-0. How can he let them play golf instead of train? How can he let them eat hamburgers? I know what I am, and I was lucky, and that is football, remarked coach Molle Nielsen afterwards. Brian Laudrup recalls knocking out the favourites Netherlands in the semi-finals.
No, I think when I looked at their five shooters, I thought Michael van Basten, that's a certainty. He will score. So it just shows, even the best attacker in the world, can struggle with his nerves, and he certainly did that.
But Marco van Basten overcame his nerves back in the 1988 final. His unstoppable volley was one for the ages. A Dutch masterpiece, the strike sealed a 2-0 victory over the Soviet Union, earning the Netherlands its first major title. Greece had never won a match at a major tournament before Euro 2004, so it was no surprise they began as 250-1 outsiders. With a strong defensive focus, Greece fought its way through the knockout stages without conceding a goal. This included an exhausting rearguard action in the final against a Portuguese side with home support and Cristiano Ronaldo to call on. Portugal sent over 10 corners to Greece's 1, but it was the 1 that settled the contest, enabling Angelos Karisteas to head his way into history. The final whistle sparked wild celebrations throughout Greece, with thousands taking to the streets to rejoice. the Greek team returned to a hero's welcome at the Panathinaikos Stadium, site of the first modern Olympics in 1896, a fitting venue to honor a triumph of the ages. For many, football is a way of life. They live and breathe it. They're there every step of the way, donning their nation's colors, cheering on their #1 guys. They stick by their team for better or for worse.
We didn't win this time, but we'll win the next.
Football unites people across the world, bringing together different backgrounds. So it's safe to say, without fans, a sporting competition such as the European Championships wouldn't survive, let alone thrive. And that is the truth.